Hi everybody, I'm just sharing this. It's just come onto my Twitter feed from Susie S. Palestine PR, November 16th. 1 million Orthodox Jews inside Israel refuse to be part of Israel's killer army. 1 million Orthodox Jews say no to apartheid Israel. 1 million Orthodox Jews affirm loud and clear that Zionism has nothing to do with Judaism. No wonder Netanyahu is worried. More than 1 million Jews attended the anti-Israel rally in Jerusalem. Millions of Jews emerged to protest the Zionist state and its killer army. I don't need an army. I don't need a state. Israel is not a Jewish state. Zionism and Israel do not represent Jews. So I'm just going to play this video clip here. So that was the Jewish protest there, Zionists being protested against in Israel by Jews who don't recognise the Zionist state of Israel and do not support Zionist military actions, so-called military actions, actually terrorist actions, to commit crimes of land theft and a programme of what they refer to as ethnic cleansing of Palestine. It's absolutely outrageous and disgusting, and it is heartening to witness real Jewish people standing up against it. And it's not happening just in Israel, it's happening all over the world and in Britain recently, with so many British Jews standing by Jeremy Corbyn, condemning Zionist violence and atrocity, refusing to accept these evil smears against Jeremy Corbyn as an anti-Semite, which is absolutely disgusting. There is absolutely no way that Jeremy Corbyn is anti-Semitic. It's just absolutely ridiculous. In fact, the Zionists are anti-Semitic. They are anti-Semitic for committing such crimes and such horror in the name of Jewish people, and after what Jews have suffered in this world and the persecution, how dare they slander and bring such disrepute to the faith of Judaism as to claim that being God's chosen people gives them the right to commit crimes against humanity and children and theft. It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable that they could connect their horror and atrocities to Yahweh. It is an outrage in the face of Yahweh. It is actually an abomination. Israel, as the promised land, is an abomination before God. It has to be. It has to be. It breaks every single one of Yahweh's 10 commandments that are fundamental to Judaic faith. And here we have it. Israel army admits to killing 8 Gaza family members. We thought the house was empty. So why were they bombing an empty house? Why were they bombing an empty house then? What were they doing? Just going into Palestine, going into Gaza, killing people, claiming, oh, this person's was plotting some terrorism. Really? Well, let's have a trial. Arrest them. What? How is that a normal behaviour for a government to just go around shooting people and bombing people on strength of a suspicion? This was a very simple poor family who lives from hand to mouth in a tin shack with no water or electricity, said a neighbour who knew the family. They lived off herding sheep and were known as simple poor people. Is this the way the head of a rocket unit or senior Islamic jihadist lives? Every child in Gaza knows the unit members and senior activists live in different conditions. They have houses, and even when they go underground, their children and families don't live in such squalor, he said. The story that they attacked a senior jihadist seems disconnected from reality. This article's by Yaniv Kubovic. And these are the family. Rasmi al-Sawaka, 45, his son Muhammad, 12, Mariam, 45, Muath Muhammad, 7, Wasim Muhammad, 13, Yusra, 39, and 2 toddlers whose bodies were dug up from the debris on Thursday morning and whose names have not been released. It has to end. It has to end. We have to end this. And, that's why this election that's happening now in Britain is so important. It's so important because we're talking about a takeover of Britain by him who basically runs Boris like a puppet on a string. Boris is an agent to this man and Donald Trump. And him and Netanyahu and Donald Trump, they are literally like peas in a pod. And both of them being investigated for criminal activities in their own countries as well. And the same with Boris Johnson. So you've got 3 lawfully suspect criminals, all presently heads of very powerful, influential nations, such as Israel, America and Britain. All with financial direct interest in Brexit. All of them claiming that anybody criticising Zionist atrocity like this are anti-Semitic. It has to end. So, and as I say, we're going to have to vote them out, it looks like, because it looks like this actually criminal general election is going ahead. How? I don't understand. In any lawful world, a criminal prime minister, a lawfully suspect criminal prime minister and actually condemned as guilty prime minister can actually still be prime minister and be running a general election. That does not compute with me really, but it looks like it's going ahead. We've got no choice. We are going to have to vote Labour. Labour is the only party that has had the guts and the backbone under Jeremy Corbyn to actually speak out against this filth that is presently governing Israel and calling itself Jewish under the heading of Zionist. And I would even challenge them on that title that they've given themselves, Zionists, because from what I understand of that term, Zionism, it most applies to Rastafarians, definitely not these people calling themselves Jews presently controlling Israel. And I do not want to spend another year on this planet witnessing this ongoing horror just being casually supported by so-called civilised leaders of developed nations. What is going on here? This isn't a development, and I defy anybody to be able to stand there and claim that Israel is the promised land. Promised for what? Absolute crime, it seems.